Everybody's talking at the comic spot. The comic spot. The comic spot. Everybody's talking at the comic spot. The comic spot.
Well, Facebook people, welcome to Comic Spot. Linda Marcus Smith on YouTube, comedian Linda Marcus Smith on YouTube. I used to call it Comic Spot, but there's a bigger one out there that's called Comic Spot. So yeah, go ahead with it. You can have the name. So these interviews for you at home watching, kick back, relax, and just say to yourself, well, who the heck is she interviewing today? And do I like the person she's interviewing? What can I learn? If you're a comedian, we've got a brand new comedian, a couple months in here today, but she's been watching comedy probably her whole life, and she has insights and a brand new perspective. So even if you've been doing comedy 50 years, stay humble because there's stuff you can learn from newer comedians. So don't let your fame affect you. Anyway, that's my little PSA. I pay myself to say it, public service announcements. Anyway, so this is Comic Spot, where you get to know who comedians are off stage, when they're not putting on a show and pretending to be something they're not. Unfortunately, some comics are never themselves. And today we have a guest who is 100% herself. So I know she's going to do very well in comedy. We'll get to that in 1 second. But first, I have a sponsor. Can you believe that? I have a sponsor. I can't believe he's still my sponsor, because every time I do this silly little PSA for him, and maybe he's never heard it, but if he does, he'll probably cut me. Anyway, I'm a military veteran, and I was in the Army in 1973. You're welcome. If you're speaking English, I'm the reason why. And because I'm a veteran, the Veterans of Comedy let me be part of their group. They're a traveling comedy group that goes around the world doing comedy for military and vets. So next time you're sitting at home and you're going, I'd like to have a Zoom party. I'd like to have somebody come to our American Legion, our VFW, or the Madison Square Garden and do comedy. And you're saying to yourself, let me see, if somebody actually, slung weapons, protected our country, and they were slinging weapons, maybe they can sling jokes. You go to veteransofcomedy.com and you scroll and scroll. It's kind of like a dating app. You go, yeah, no. And you get to my picture and you hire me, skip all the men, hire a woman. That's all I'm saying. Right, Will Clifton? Kidding. Go to veteransofcomedy.com and pick the person you think that can do the job, because veteransofcomedy.com's motto is leave no laugh behind. They're out to heal the military and veterans, and there's no better way to heal than to do comedy. I found that out, so look how far I've come. Nah, maybe you don't know. Yeah, anyway, today I'm doing something new with my hair. I'm parting my bangs so you can see my big ass forehead. I got a big forehead. But I don't feel bad about it, because there's a lot of famous people that had big foreheads. Let's see, the Three Stooges. The list goes on. I just wanted to let you know, it's going to bother me looking in the mirror and seeing this big forehead, but I have personal goals. I have to overcome my big forehead before I kick the bucket. And today I'm doing that. So you get to see my forehead. You're welcome. Today's guest is a new up and coming comedian here in the Las Vegas comedy scene. And I got to know her at Wise Guys Comedy Club, which is a place we both hang out. It's a regular hangout place for a ton of comedians. There's usually 30 to 50 comedians in there every Tuesday and Wednesday night. And you get to see a lot of people. You get to see fake people, people who are shy but pretend to be outgoing. You get to see outgoing people that pretend to be shy.
Thank you, sweetie. Okay, bye.
Anything can happen. This is Zoom. Zoom is a whole new world. People take phone calls.
Oh, my friend was in a surgery. And her
Yeah,
husband just called to tell me that she was okay.
good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'm just saying it's fine. But you have two devices on. Now I'm getting an echo. So one of them has to get turned off. Please and thank you. I don't know why that happens. It just does. Anyway, so I see a lot of comedians coming and going at Wise Guys. And I don't get always, I love everybody, don't get me wrong, but I'm most impressed when somebody is a real person on and off stage. Do you know how many years it takes most comedians to go on stage and just be who they are? She's brand new, couple months in, and she's already able to take that skill and just be herself on stage. So she's got stories, she's got jokes, she's got personality, and she's herself. And she's really nice as herself. I love talking to her. She's a good human being, uplifting, positive, great insights. You guys got to get to know her. You'll love her. I'm so glad she's part of the comedy community here in Vegas. And I know she's going to do great because she has everything it takes other people 10 years to get. She's got it already. So there you go. Her name. Do you want to know her name? All right, I'll tell you her name. Her name is Julz Barnes, Julz. Don't worry about me and my typos. I probably typed it 40 different ways to Sunday. But her name is Julz Barnes, Julz, Barnes with the E in it, Barnes. And you can look out for great things to come out of her mouth. So there you go. Let's welcome her right now and get to know her. What do you say? Give it up for Julz Barnes, you guys. Woo! Hi, Julz.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you so much. That was very nice. I bless you.
Thank you. I mean
With my
it.
intro. It was, so special.
No problem. And you can lean back. You don't need to lean in. I hear you great from back there. It's great. So
Okay.
the thing is that I want you to start off. You had a phone interruption. Tell people what's going on in your personal life today in Vegas. You have a friend in surgery.
Yeah, my friend, she had to get a knee surgery and her husband called to tell me that she's okay. She made it through okay. So,
Hey, that's so
yeah.
important. I
Yeah.
wasn't making fun of your phone call.
Oh, I
was
know.
just letting everybody know to hold on. This is Zoom. Anything can happen.
Okay.
I've had people's dogs come up and children sit on their parents' laps. Everything happens on Zoom.
Yep.
Yeah. So she made it through the surgery. You live here in Vegas.
Yes, I live here in Vegas.
And so how did you make it through the pandemic, and how are you making it through this global warming heat wave?
Well, I was one of the lucky ones that was an essential worker, as I'm a mobile notary. So I still got to get out there and work and stuff like that.
Which
And-
must have been good, but scary.
Yeah, but most people really were not as paranoid as they wanted you to think people were. I went to a lot of homes, and some people wanted you to wear masks and some people didn't care about the mask, and stuff. So I got through it pretty good. It was a challenging time. What was nice is the freeways were empty because nobody could go out, so like where it would take you 40 minutes, now it's only taking you 20 minutes to get there. So that was kind of cool, no traffic. But oh man, looking in Las Vegas Boulevard with everything shut down was the most creepiest feeling, it is crazy.
It was. And then
Like that'd be a perfect time to make a movie.
yeah, it would. And also a lot of people that are out, the tourists actually keep you safe from the predators, like the people that want to stop and pick you up, or the tweakers that want your money or whatever. And when there's no tourists, you feel, I go walking every day, and it's scary when there's no tourists to make you feel safe.
Yeah, I bet. It's pretty.
What part of Vegas do you live in, Julz?
I live in Central Vegas around Charleston and Sahara.
Oh, that's
I've
very
been,
close.
yep, I've been here almost 5 years from Sonora, California, which is about an hour from the entrance to Yosemite National Park.
All righty.
Yes.
So some of this I heard before when we were just talking as girls do talk, because we sit together and we chuckle it up in between comedians and stuff. You know, I'm not much of a talker at the comedy, but we try to get a few words in here and there. So we're becoming friends, and I really like your supportive nature. Let's talk about you growing up, because you turned into quite the human being. You're very positive, very supportive, very
Thank you.
low on judging other people, and you have a high tolerance for BS. We went through one night where we were both trying to tolerate BS. But let's talk about, there's an echo going on with another device.
I don't have any other device on.
Okay, cool. I can keep hearing an echo, so I don't understand it. Anyway, so let's go back into your childhood and you growing up inside your family unit. How many
Okay.
brothers and sisters? What was your role in the family? How did it play itself out?
Well, I have one sister, and my mom was 2 weeks overdue with me, and she fell out of a rocking chair, and she was, and they couldn't get her up, and they started cracking up. And so I finally ended up going, she goes to the hospital, has me in 12 hours. And I told her, I said, Mom, I was a pain before I was born. What made you think I'd be a pain afterwards? And so we were living in San Francisco at the time. And because both of my parents worked, we had a mammy raising us for the first 3.5 years of my life. And then we moved to Southern California. And my sister and I were so used to Rosie that my mom couldn't get us to eat or do anything. So we had to have Rosie come down for a couple months, and then we moved back to the Bay Area in Redwood City. This is in 1961, and my parents ended up getting divorced in 1961, which was not a common thing. And so Sissy and I were always ostracized, because we didn't have a dad. Like back in those days, if you didn't have a dad in the house, you couldn't have people over there. Now it's like if the dad's in the house, they're concerned about it. It's just crazy. And so Mom got divorced, and we just went on, and we moved to San Mateo and lived our lives. And I was always one that was outdoors, playing by myself with my imagination. I have a great imagination, and so it kept me going and stuff, being bullied, like I say, since second grade. And you just build a character. You have to find humor in your life, and then we go live with our father and stepmother for a year when I was in 8th grade and my sister was in 9th. And that was one of the craziest years of my life. I was grounded 10 out of the 11 months I was there for every single thing. I got caught smoking a cigarette, and they made me eat a cigarette. I got grounded for 30 days. This crazy woman was a cocktail waitress, and my dad was a cop, and they had a big old fight one night. So she came in and she's like, Ty was going to shoot my sister and my dad had to throw the gun out of her hand. So it's like when you have diversities and things happen in your life, I have faith. I have an abundance of faith that has not varied through anything. And in that, I trust and believe everything happens for a reason, and there's a lesson to be learned. And so I just keep my faith in that, what has got me through it. And I've always been a funny person, when I was 3.5 years old, because of being raised by a mammy. We were in Vallejo visiting my aunt and uncle, and we were talking about a fireplace, and they said, it's fireplace. I'm like, it's fireplace. I argued with these adults until they finally relented and said, okay, it's fireplace, because I would not stop. I have a very strong mind. I have a lot of really strong opinions. And I just take things as a day, as a minute, because since I was 15 and a half, I lived each day like it was my last. And so I've just been grateful for every day and blessed for every day. And I've seen so many great things and experienced so many great things and funny things. And it's like, I don't know I can't be anything but me. So I just, my comedy is my life. And I didn't have a child till I was 34 years old. And I was a crazy party girl. Crazy party girl. I traveled to Guam and Japan and the Philippines, and I just had beautiful, wonderful, great experiences, meeting amazing people, musicians. When I went to Japan, there was a musician named Sadao Watanabe. He's a sax player. And I was telling all my friends in the Bay Area, I'm like, I'm going to meet him. I'm either going to meet him or I'm going to see him. And so I go to his concert, and the tickets were all in katakana, right? And I've got a camera and I've got a recorder stuff. And the Japanese people are all so short that I could just like use a little heads for tripod, you know what I'm saying? And so what I did is I recorded his concert and took pictures. Well, my friend that I was with got us backstage, was about the size of a closet. And I got to meet him, and I said, oh, I recorded your show. Do you want your tapes? And he signed them for me. He signed my cassette tapes for me. So I've met a lot of musicians. I've just had the most blessed life, and then having a daughter and a grandson now. And I took care of my mom when she was sick, and she was a stealth woman getting divorced in 1961, you know. So I didn't get married my first time till I was 28, didn't have my kid till I was 34. So I have stories and stories. I don't even need to make anything up.
No, and that's what I love about you, because everything you say, I know it really happened. And there's nothing worse than watching a comedian and just telling comedy that has nothing to do with the truth. You know, they'll say, you know, I went to the store today, and you know they're making it up. But with you, it's all real stuff. And
it is all real stuff. Yeah, it is. And, you know, just watching people, and I'm a people watcher. And when I watch, I'm like this, so they could see that I'm watching. In fact, I've gotten chewing shows from people because I stare. I can't help it. If I see something, I just fixate my eyes on it. And this one guy gave me a chewing show at the restaurant, and I gave him one back. You know, just silly. I'm just me, and I love me.
That's what I like too, is that you're just being yourself, and you're not going to be anything but what you are, no matter what somebody says, and that's going to take you a long ways.
Thank you. Yeah, I just love life and take it for what it has, you know. And I feel like my challenges are my test of faith, you know, because how do we know if we're still got it, if we just because the devil right now, I think, is working really hard, and people are they just can't deal. But if you just keep faith and believe everything happens for a reason, we'll get through this and we're going to all be okay, you know. So it's your test of faith. It's like, this is God. For the next 60 seconds, I'm going to put you through a test and see if you throw me under the bus or have her, you know, believe everything happens for a reason, like I said. So
yeah,
it's, you know, I just think it's a test of faith.
And everything is meant to make us stronger. So if we go through it in the right way, take the high road, we'll actually come out stronger.
Right.
So tell me how it is you became a wonderful person with the capability of being a good friend. Because you're very unique in that you're in every moment, and you're real, and you say what you feel, and you have compassion. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are really fake right now, and you're not one of them. How did you get to be, out of 900 and some interviews, I've maybe had 10 people I've said this to. So how is it that you became, is it your trials that made you so wonderful?
I think so. I think it's my trial. It's my faith. My faith is what keeps me going. It's my, you know, no matter what, I just keep the faith. That doesn't mean I don't get upset. It doesn't mean I don't react to the things that happen to me, but I just know, I believe, like Julie, just trust in God, just, you know. And it's like, you don't have to go to church. You don't have to do anything like that to have faith. Faith is between you and God. That's your whoever you choose to, as long as it makes you a good person, a good whole person, and do right. I've always been funny. People have always thought I've been funny because I don't always think things through. I just act a lot impulsively, you know. It's like, oh, well, that wasn't such a good idea, you know. But yeah, I just have always, my family's always thought I've been funny, and my friends have always thought I've been funny because I just look at life, like they say, you look at life through rose-colored glasses, you know, is what I was told a lot. It's like, well, I mean, it's what you make it. Your choice, it's all about the choices that we make. You know, so you can take this situation and you can either let it ruin your life or you can let it make your life. It's up to you to decide, you know. And no matter what diversity, we've all gone through diversity. I don't think anybody's had a perfect life. So it's just how you deal with it, how you digest it, how you, if you have people to help support you or whatever to get you through those times, but I know the one that will never let me down, and that's the big man upstairs.
There you go.
He's the one.
Absolutely. So you went through high school, and then what did you do after? I heard you say you got married when you're 28,
Yeah.
had a child when you're 34.
Hmm.
So take me back a little. Leaving high school, what were some of the building blocks that got you to today?
Well, high school, I'll run by it real fast. I think they graduated me just to get me out of the school. I wouldn't wear shoes. I was in the dean's office more than I was in class. I mean, I was just a shit disturber all through. That's me. They nicknamed me at 3 years old SD for shit disturber, and I'd call them LMNOP, which I had no, I knew the alphabet LMNOP, I didn't know what I was saying or anything. And after I graduated out of high school, which I was one of the last to graduate because they put all the bad kids in the back, then I started working. I started working at 15 and a half years old, 2 jobs, and I worked off and on 2 jobs for 45 years. And so
what were the 2 jobs?
I do accounting and bookkeeping, and I do lending. I've been in lending for 48 years. And then I would either cocktail, bartend, or food serve at night. But before I had kids and everything and marriage, I could, I'd go from one job to the other. And sometimes I wouldn't even sleep because I was back in the crazy days. And I did it for years. And I'm a worker bee. I don't know how not to work, So then I met this guy and we lived together, and that was quite a wild ride. He was an alcoholic, and I thanked him down the road for being a belligerent alcoholic, because whenever I saw that sign in somebody, I'd run the other way, and then after him, I just played until I met my first husband. And then we were on Guam for 3 years, and we were married for 5. Then I met my daughter's dad and had her, raised her, got divorced from him 25 years ago, then was a single mom. Still working 2 jobs, going to college, but you got to do what you got to do.
You're going to college right now?
No, I was when I was raising my daughter as a single mom and working 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs, because her dad, as most dads, are deadbeat dads. So, he was one of those deadbeat dads, but I still let her go visit him. I still let her call him because I did not want to be the mom. Well, you never let me see my dad. But I think after being a parent, doesn't matter what you do, it's never going to be right.
Never.
It's never going to be right.
Never.
It's just the way that goes sometimes.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So how's your daughter's life? How did she turn out?
She's a pretty good girl. She's a healer. She's a Reiki master and an entity healer. And I have a grandson who is just smarter than a whip, kind, funny, talented. Yeah, my daughter, she's going to be getting married next year, and she's doing pretty good.
And how old's your grandson?
8. He's 8 years old. He just turned 8 in June, and he's in 3rd grade, and he can already add like 25 and 37 in his head at 8 years old. I mean, he's so smart, and he's been already to like 15 states. He's seen everything. I told him, I said, you will never be surprised with anything because you're being raised in Vegas. There's nothing's going to shock you as you get down the road. You know what I mean? Like kids that live in these little protected groups come to Vegas and probably like, oh my God, and don't know what to do. So he's very funny. He's smart. He's the love of my life.
Oh,
It's too bad you can't have your grandchildren before your children.
that's funny. That is so funny. That's a funny statement. I've never heard a comic say it. You could put that in your act.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah, that's really great material.
Thank you.
Put a lot of jokes after that, because just that premise would get people laughing.
Oh, I haven't even done my kid ones yet.
You got a lot of material.
I have a lot of it too. That's why I do a lot of things different every week, because I have a lot of, I have so many things clicking in my head all the time, and I have to keep a piece of paper because, I am pushing my 70s. So I'll be 68 in 9 days. Yay. I live for birthdays just in case I'm not here for the next one. So I celebrate for the month, however long. Sure. Yeah. I'll keep celebrating. And, so I lost my train of thought, but anyway, that's what we do sometimes.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. Yeah, I live for birthdays and celebrate them, and it's a gift, and to still be healthy and to be able to I just very thankful and blessed. That's how I felt. And no matter what diversities have come to my life, it's all a lesson. It's something to teach you. It's something to grow from, learn from. You know, everything happens for a reason, and you got to find humor in life. Otherwise, you won't make it.
Yeah, and if you go, whatever you go through, if you look for one thing you can learn from it, or how, like, go through the pandemic, how can you be a better human being? You know, you fall and break your foot. What's the blessing in it? How can you help others? Because there's always somebody, after you break your foot, it's like getting a white car. All of a sudden you notice nothing but white cars. You break your foot, now you're noticing people who have, you know, all kinds of casts on their body.
Right,
You
right.
can help other people because you can relate.
Right. That's like when you meet a guy, you know, when you're dating and he's got a Malibu or something, you know, car Malibu. You've never paid attention. Now I see every car you see is a blue Malibu or whatever. You know, it's so funny. You're so right about that.
It's true.
It is true.
So what's the funniest joke that you've heard another comedian say? And what's the funniest joke that you just love saying? Like, a lot of times us comedians, we have a joke and it's our favorite joke, and we haven't really yet found a way to make people laugh at it very much, but we still love the joke and we refuse to throw it away. So I want to know, what's the funniest thing you've heard a comedian say, and what do you think is one of your funniest things?
Oh God, a comedian. God, I don't know. I've seen so many comedians. I know this one guy, Michael Burton, Mike Burton. He's on Dry Comedy. He's like, yeah, I can be whiter. And he goes, he's like, I can be whiter. And so he goes, here's a regular white guy. Here's a whiter white guy. And it just, the way he projects it and stuff just cracks me up. He's so funny, but God, there's so many funny comedians.
Yeah.
There's so many funny comedians. And I know I get a good laugh with my Bill Clinton joke, and I'm getting good laughs with the contact lenses. That's getting really good laughs. But
I remember the Bill Clinton joke. That's hilarious.
Contact lenses.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so my soon-to-be in-laws and I were out to dinner, and we were talking about the difference between contact lenses and glasses. And I said, well, contact lenses are better because they cover your whole uterus. I mean, iris.
Yeah.
But one of the things I think is the funniest, and I haven't had a lot of people, I haven't really used it a lot, but it was when my mom, she had Lewy bodies, Parkinson's, dementia. And one morning we're sitting at the breakfast table and she looks at me and she says, I wonder where that damn Julie is. She's probably out there running around somewhere. And I said, yep, she probably is. You know, and I just find that hilarious because when they're in that state of mind, you can't lay anything on them. They don't know where they're at. You know, you just got to humor them and stuff. And she had a party one time and got mad at me because it was 4:30 in the morning. Her bedroom was full of all these people and she get to see these kids get married. So she didn't talk to me for 3 days. And there was, of course, there's nobody there. Yeah. So, you know, those things you just got to find. I mean, it's a sad situation. But again, I say you got to find humor in these things, you know. And so that's one of my ones that I'm going to start putting out there more just to see with people, you know, because I know a lot of people go through it and it is not easy. And you just, sometimes they get cantankerous, you know, and stuff like that, but you just got to love them and know that then humor them. That's why I tell people, humor them. You know, if you're taking care of a person that's losing their mind, humor them because they don't care anyway. They're not going to remember the next minute anyway, so who cares?
Yeah.
Go along with whatever they say, you know. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, even if it's not, who cares? Who cares?
That would be a funny bit for you to do, like for a whole 3 minutes to talk about you taking care of your mother. And then you could spin off into, so if you're taking care of somebody who's got Lou Gehrig's disease, teach them baseball.
Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, because I know there's a lot of people going through it these days, you know. So
yeah, a lot of people are suffering.
Yeah, they are.
What made you want to get up on stage?
I wanted to get on stage because people had always told me I should. So I went there one night just to watch, and I thought, I could do this. It's like, what's worse going to happen? I get booed off the stage. I do karaoke. When I was in Japan, I had to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning where the clubs stayed open and sing. I left my heart in San Francisco with the piano bar, there was no words or anything like that, So I've gotten up in front of people a lot, and I'm a joke teller. I've told jokes. I could tell jokes for like 3 hours. And so I just thought, why not? What do I have to lose? Like, try something new in life, and I'm actually loving it. I'm having fun. It's like, it's been a blast. And
You mean to tell me that you have enough jokes to tell jokes for 3 hours?
Oh God, easily.
Wow.
I could tell, I used to tell, like, I don't remember a lot of those jokes, but I could tell you stories and jokes for 3 hours.
Wow.
I had a repertoire. I mean, yeah. I love laughing. Like I say, but when I went to Guam, and I kind of lost some of the talent there because they don't, that was in '83 where they were still not as westernized as they are now. So, we kind of lost a lot of its spin, but they're starting to come back now that my comedy bank is opening up, my brain's opening up that stuffed shelf.
Yeah.
There'll be more coming out, I know.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I can't wait to hear all the story. I look forward to you going up every time because I know it's going to be real material and it's going to be funny,
Oh, thank you.
The kind of comedy that a lot of us like to hear. So that's really cool. Where do you want people to help your career? How do you want people watching this to help support your career?
I don't know. I've never done anything like this before. So, I guess if you like what you see, forward it to somebody else or something, I mean, share the comedy, with other people.
And you're not yet much of a social media guru.
No, I'm not. I did set up an Instagram, but I don't know how to work it.
Yeah.
So maybe we can work on that.
Yeah, I can sit with you and kind of show you that when we're at Wise Guys together.
Yeah.
When I get back from my trip. So, tell people where you perform on a regular basis in Vegas.
Wise Guys. It's an awesome place. Great people. Beautiful venue. I love it. I love Wise Guys. It's fun.
And tonight we're going to go down to the South Point Casino and see the Dirty at 12:30 show. And so if you want to run in and meet Julz, she'll be with me, and she's going to meet all the comedy people that are down there. And then tomorrow we're going to go to the LA Comedy Club. I'm going to introduce her to all the people there. They're going to love her. And then when we get done with that, I think Saturday night is the Notoriety show, which is amazeballs. There's so many good venues for comedy that are big, huge venues, like Aces and Brad Garrett and the Laugh Factory. And
yes, I don't know. The only comedy place I've been to is Wise Guys, and I love that place, and I love the people there. The comedians are good. They're funny. The staff is nice, and it's a great place. It's a very comfortable place to be.
It's a great place to go and have as a home club. Everybody needs a home, and it makes you feel like it's a home club.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I miss having my home club in Portland, Oregon, and it's nice to have Wise Guys that stepping in and being the new grand step parent for me.
No, yeah, they're great. I like the place.
Me too. So what do you want to tell everybody as you head out, being in comedy with a lot of stories and jokes? How do you want to encourage people who are going through a rough time and the benefits of comedy? The benefits of your comedy? Leave us with some inspiration about your passion in comedy for people.
My passion in comedy for people is just to not take life so seriously, learn to laugh at yourself, try to find the humor in all situations, because it is, and I know things get tough and stuff, but in there somewhere, just find a way to find humor in it, to make it easier for yourself.
Yes, absolutely. And trust me, when you're hearing Julz Barnes on the stage at Wise Guys, and she'll be getting booked at many shows, don't you worry. You're going to know that she's speaking the truth. Nothing's made up. She doesn't need to make stuff up.
No.
And I really, really appreciate that. That's seriously, it takes comedians about 10 years to get enough self-confidence in their skill of writing and bringing out stuff. The stuff takes forever to come out of them, and you're doing it right out of the gate. So
Oh, thank you.
I feel like Drew Barrymore right now. But you're doing something that a lot of people take 10 years to develop too.
Wow, that's amazing. I guess God has this in plan for me, right?
Yes. And there's a place for all of us.
There is.
Your comedy will find its root, and it will grow. And where venues that will want you on stage won't want me, and that's okay. There's many venues. So
Oh yes, for sure.
yeah.
That's
Well,
great.
I really look forward to watching you develop, and I wanted you on here when you are relatively brand new at stand-up comedy, but you're not new at making people laugh at
No,
all.
I'm
You've been
not.
doing it
I've been
forever.
on stage 13 times now,
Ah,
but who's counting?
And your interview number 968.
Oh wow.
You're 969.
Oh, 969. I like that. Okay.
Yeah,
God, that was a crazy year. The summer of 69. Wait till I get into those stories.
I can't wait. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'll be a great one. And then you'll have to wear your hippy dippy outfit. She has a hippy dippy.
Comedy chickie.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come see that. She's already got a character, you guys. How long does it take most comedians to have a persona? She's got one. All righty. Well, thank you so much for taking time to come on to a little interview here. And because you're relatively new being at stand-up per se, I want to track your career. So every few months, I want you to say, Linda, let me back on. I want to give a progress report.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool. I really am blessed that you have this going on to help, newbies or whatever come out and be seen and give us a
I've been
little
told by
platform.
people in the business, you should only interview people who are famous. Well, that doesn't bring me joy to only, I think everybody has a story. Everybody needs their spotlight. And, I have some followers and they seem to like listening to these. So
Mhm.
I'm not after the famous people. Famous people come and go. And, I like everybody. So
Yeah. And who knows, it might inspire somebody that's been thinking about, oh, should I or shouldn't I, and just say, hey, if they can do it, I can do it,
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like you and I both started getting up on stage because we went to a mic and said, I can do that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Julz Barnes.
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Come to Wise Guys. Tuesdays, some Wednesdays we both get on or not, but definitely Tuesdays.
Yep.
You'll see us both getting there early to get a spot.
Yes, indeed. And
Perfect.
God bless you, child. And
God
thank
bless you. See you later tonight.
Okay. Ciao.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye.